Long day lady road. Hello everybody. I picked up my Red Bull, so I don't know if anybody's. Welcome everybody to get to know your creator. Get to know your creator. We have a great creator on tonight. Today, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time frame you're watching. I'm Jason Bascom, on his entertainment. Blah blah blah. So without further ado, we're gonna get our lovely co-host in here, the great Angela Curry. What's going on, Angela?
Not much. How are you doing today, Jason?
I'm swell. I'm swell. Woke up early for a fun stream on Arvid's channel at Crowfire Studios. It was not my forte of topic, but that's fine. It's not my, I can follow along and I learn things and I don't mind listening. I'm just not as articulate in the political speak, so I'll let the guys who know what they're talking about talk, and I don't mind listening. It was fun. I still had a good time. I enjoyed it. I like Arvid. I like Aaron, and Jason was on too. The other Jason of Jupiter. So
nice.
It was a good stream. Good fun stream.
You got to share Frog G, right?
Yeah. We shared it at the beginning and at the end, and we loosely talked about it here and there. So it was fun. And then went to the comic shop, went to get food, went to do a whole bunch of running around, and then came home, set up this stream for a great individual who we have on. Are you ready? Are you excited? Are you pumped?
I am excited.
You are excited. We're all excited here. What's going on, Steven? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
We're swell in these parts of the woods here. See, woods, get it from the screen behind me, the backdrop. I'm a punny guy.
I know who drew that.
It was, you know who drew that?
Yeah, me.
Who drew that?
Me.
Shocker. No, I really like that panel, man. We'll get to that later. We have a lovely person in the chat, I see. Who's that?
We do.
I
don't know. It's
you highlighted
Citizen Ronan's here.
Kick off Citizen Ronan. What's going on, Citizen
What's up?
Ronan? Good to see you, friend. And if you're watching on the replay, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps grow the channel, and it helps get their campaign can get out there more and share it around, and more eyes can get on these campaigns that are out there that might get overlooked or get lost in the shadows of things, so to speak. So yeah, and as you come in, go ahead.
Halder's in the house. Hello, Halder.
Yeah, and as you come in, Angela will highlight you. She will interrupt the conversation because we need to know that you're here to say hello. Because, Steven, I don't know if you agree. If it wasn't for the fans, we can't do what we do. So this is a fan-based movement. So we want to.
I agree.
Yeah, and say hello to and hail to the chat and the fans. And this, like I said, we're going to get to the campaign. Want to talk about the campaign, and I see that it says second chance, and we'll dive into that. But it says it's your second chance at it. But how long have you been into the comic scene? Like not just maybe drawing it, but as much as collecting. When did you kind of start?
My first comic, my older brother actually gave me my first comic, and it was an issue of Spider-Man.
Oh, nice. Do you remember which one? Or?
I don't remember which one, but I remember what the last page was. The last page was Salmon buying a couple of oranges, which the coins turned to sand, and then
cool.
and then
What's up, Jim Cox?
And then the book kind of ended with him juggling the oranges.
Now, what year about maybe that was? Like, was it the late 80s, 90s, aughts? Like, what about was that?
I don't know, but I think my brother gave it to me like somewhere in the 90s. 90s.
So you now, did that kind of get you like that? I know it's Spider-Man, so pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But that bug bite you? That got that's what bit you? That's what kind of made you be like, oh, this is really cool. I really like this. Or is it because he collected and so it just kind of trickled down onto you?
Well, that book was the first step, and then when it came to up to middle school, which is like in the early 2000s, I didn't know any comic book shops near me. I didn't know there were any comic book shops at all.
Yeah, and like there was not as many on the newsstands, like as far as like being in convenience stores. There weren't as many in that time frame. Like they were kind of disappearing off those shelves, so to speak. So it was a little harder. Like spinner racks were almost a thing in the past by the 2000s. So it's a little harder to get your hands on them unless you went to an LCS. So that had to have been pretty difficult. So was Spider-Man your jam, or did you mainly just like get his leftovers? Like what was like your like superheroes indies? What were you into?
Spider-Man and Batman, the series were the first things that appeared for me.
Nice. Yeah, you mean Batman the animated series?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce Timm. Yeah.
And then I started learning more about Batman from the shows. But yeah, but like I said, in middle school, I didn't know there were any shops, if some existed, and I just didn't know about it.
Right, and that's probably the case. You're in middle school. Yeah. Like how it's not like you can go drive around the town to find right.
Yes. But my school had like a indoor library, and they had a section filled with manga and comics.
Nice.
And I picked a manga magazine up and the book and a comic, which funny thing was again Spider-Man.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Spider-Man.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Spider-Man.
Can't go wrong with Spider-Man. And I speaking of manga, like looking at your campaign, I do see a manga influence. Like I see a style in there that kind of has a little manga flair to it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not full on, but I could see it. You know what I mean? So that makes sense that now that you say you picked up some manga while you're in the library at your school, and that's cool that they had those there. Like my school, I mean, I'm a tad older than you, so my school we didn't have that stuff. You had to go outside of your school. They had regular books usually. Yeah. So what when you were like starting to read these things and look at these things, what attracted you more? Was it the storylines? Was it the artwork? Like what really caught your attention?
I would say it's a little bit of both. I really enjoyed the art. The Spider-Man I picked up was it was the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, the Ultimate Spider-Man line, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And you remember the mangas that you were looking at?
It was the Shonen Jump magazines.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not like I know the stereotypical mangas. I'm not familiar with too much of the sprinklings of the under ones. Like I know the popular ones like Akira and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I got more into the Western stuff growing up. We all collected like the typical superhero stuff, and we didn't get into the indie stuff till much later in our years, which is fine. I mean, people go about collecting in their own way. What got you into then like drawing and writing? Like what made you want to go that route? Because I mean, comics aren't something that you're gonna be like, yes, I want to, like, it is a kid thing. You're like, oh, I want to grow up and draw comic books. But when you grow up, you're more like, I got to get a job. So this isn't something you kind of want to, like, you want to do it for a living, but you know it's not money making. So what made you want to actually get into it then, knowing that like this is kind of a second full-time job that just doesn't pay well?
Yeah. I've always been able to draw since like, and I'm pretty sure everyone said this like when they were 4 years old or something like that. But when I started taking my art a little bit more seriously, I ended up picking which again from the manga aspect. I ended up the first book I picked up was How to Draw Manga.
Yeah,
and then,
I've seen those around.
Yeah, and then after that, my my older brother came to me and said, hey, if you want to draw comics, you gotta take a look at this stuff, and he brought me a printed out a Wizard magazine.
Oh, basic training.
Yeah, and it showed art from like the 90s and 80s stuff, and and I started thinking oh, this is really cool, and starts and it showed more of the structural
Right.
part of making comics.
Yeah, they had Bart Sears did quite a lot of those, and his anatomy is just insane. Like, I mean, his understanding of anatomy is pretty crazy, and that the basic training was cool for Wizard. Like, I mean, that was a good like how to, a few couple pages here and there. You pick up a few, you learn a little. Like, here's how you draw heads, here's how you draw a torso, so on and so forth, and that was actually a good fundamental basic for a lot of people who, like you said, were first getting into comics or wanted to draw them. You're reading them and you're like, oh, this is actually how they do it, you know, and so you kind of learn in that way. But you also had then that flair of the manga influence as well. So you were kind of picking up two different styles at the same time almost.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
what's going on, Madness?
Hey, Pops. So I was learning from two different medias, but if you think about it, it's just one media, just from two different nations.
It is. It's stylistically, and I mean that is a good thing about comics, because manga is comics. It's just from, like you said, it's from a different region, and that's the great thing about. And I'm sorry about the vacuum. Everybody decides to do stuff while I'm live, but like the door will slam constantly, man, because it's been anyway. But yeah, so I mean it is cool because stylistically, like manga is a totally different style, even though it is a comic. Just like then you mentioned the '90s, the '90s were a total different style from like the '80s to the '70s. So like when you were growing up and learning, you were learning at this odd age stylistically that came about, because it used to be very formulaic, very, this is the structure, this is how you do it, and this is the way it's supposed to be done. So when you were getting into it, you were getting into manga in the 90s and aughts, and as well as basic trains, you were getting into things that are like, yeah, it's how you do it, but you can also stretch things and do things this way. So it was a very different time when you were learning. That's pretty cool, man. I like that way. I think that's a good way to go about it. Get influences from different sources and learn from that and integrate it into different things. So what got you into the writing part of things then?
At first, I didn't really have much interest in writing. I just wanted to draw, and this is like before I learned about Comicsgate. I was trying. I kept building portfolios and putting them in my computer and sending out emails to whatever company that I think would even consider me.
Right.
So Marvel and DC were like out of the water, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so everyone just kind of pretty much ghosted me, and this has been happening, and this happens for like, I want to say like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the point where it dawned on me, like, why do you keep getting wasting all this paper to sending portfolios to companies? Just make your own book.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not a total waste. Like there are some people, like nowadays it's harder. Like back in the way early days, like even my brother, he would submit stuff. This is in the early to mid 90s or late 90s. He would submit stuff. You do it through the mail, and like not all the time, but they would sometimes they would send stuff back. You'd be like, hey, you need to work on this, this, and this. Thank you though. Like, you know what I mean? You would get a rejection letter, but you would still there would be reasons why. Yeah. Nowadays, like you say, like they don't accept anything. Really, they just don't accept anything. They hunt you down. But also, if you email them now or whatever, like you said, you'll just get ghosted. Like or like you could even very well get an idea stolen. So I mean, because they could just archive it and they could just like riff from it and kind of take away parts that they are like interested in, and there you go is your whole thing. So there is actually, I think, a case going on right now with somebody in CG because of that. But yeah, so it's not a bad idea to submit your stuff there if that's really what you want to do.
It's not a bad idea at all.
It's not a bad idea. If you want to draw Batman and Spider-Man, and I know like the mainstream is kind of just their stuff isn't that great right now. But if that's what you really want to do, I mean, hey, try it out. If it doesn't work for you, you can always self-publish. You don't have to be CG. You can be indie, or you could be like you can still come around and promote. Like Comicsgate doesn't just promote because of Comicsgate. We promote because I mean there are some people who only promote Comicsgate. That's fine. I'm not bashing them, but a lot of us will promote books because we know these people are passionate about comics and they love comics. They love making a cool, fun story, which is missing in the mainstream. There's no agendas here. There's no pushing. It's just pushing something fun that you might be interested and intrigued in. And your story seems to be very horror, or not horror, but like spooky and scary stories influence. So, are you into horror movies? Are you into like that kind of stuff?
Yes, yes, I am. I'm into a variety of stuff. It's horror, sci-fi, fantasy, and even superheroes, which I'm working on a book for that for that part. But yeah, uh, I
Was
lost.
no, you're okay. What's Citizen Ronan saying here?
He got a rejection letter from Marvel back in the late 90s, and they were very gracious.
Yeah, they were a lot better back then. Like I said, my brother had gotten quite a couple rejection letters from Marvel in DC, and like yeah, they weren't really hard on him. You know what I mean? And nowadays though, like you said, Steven, they'll just ghost you. Or if they don't accept things anyway. But if you try, they'll ghost
I'm pretty sure right now their inbox is full.
Yeah, well, I think also they kind of hunt people down anyway. So I don't really know how it works. I haven't looked into it. The only thing that we're looking into, or not gonna, we're gonna look into, is maybe going through Dark Horse at some point. Maybe like that's something Ink Spots and I. But we're not talking about us right now. But yeah. So it's like comics it's a fun different medium, and you get influenced by things growing up. And so like you said, you're into sci-fi. You're in a lot of different genres. What were some of your like? Because I don't know about you, but like film and music, they really like influence me a lot still to this day. What are some of your like favorite movies that maybe influence what you're doing right now in comics?
Well, that's a tough one. Because I'm really into the more superhero movies, but there are the occasional like I said, horror movies that that really caught my eye. There was one that I ended up always finding, and it was about a pack of werewolves attacking these soldiers.
Oh, I think they talked about that one on the Critical Drinker. Is it like something War Dogs or not War Dogs?
Yeah, I think it was War Dogs because
I think
because because there was a girl that was hiding the fact that she was a werewolf, and everyone that was attacking the soldiers turns out they were soldiers too, but they focused on one on their pack.
And didn't it take place pretty much in a house, like this farmhouse or something like that? Yeah. They talked about that one. I heard him talk. I never saw it, but I heard him talk about it. It sounded so cool, man. It sounded so much fun. Like I was like, I really wanted to see this, and then I didn't write it down, and so Jason's memory gone. You know what I mean? But I can't remember the name. I could Google it and look it up one day. But yeah, I really wanted to see that one.
There's the War Dogs, but it's not that. I just looked it up. There's one that it's not the Jonah Hill one.
No, it's not Jonah Hill.
It's a different War Dog.
Yeah, see, but that's kind of an obscure movie that not everybody would think about to talk about. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. It's something like I said, I did want to see that one. So, what are some of your favorite superheroes movies that have kind of come out that you like?
Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers. That's
Dog
it.
Soldiers, yeah.
I knew there was a word dog in there. Yeah.
It's a fantastic horror movie. Thank you.
My favorite superhero movies. One is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. When that first appeared and we went to go see it, I was kind of awestruck.
Oh yeah.
At it. And it was also the first Iron Man movie that really caught my attention. because it felt like that they were bringing these characters to out of the pages and bringing them to life.
Yeah, and what you couldn't ask for a better cast. Like when you heard Robert Downey Jr., you're like, the guy that's like a drug addict, really? And then once you see him, though, you're like, yeah, that totally fits. Like if you watch him on even the older movies, I know he might be drugged up, but if you watch him on like Back to School and stuff like that, like even just his wit, it's right there. Like it's like it makes sense. So yeah, it's perfect casting.
He looked like as if he came out of the comics.
He did, man. He really did. And whenever, like, I love the Spider-Man Raimi's, especially that first one. The second one's dope. Also, it's one of the best ones. But when Iron Man came out, you were just like, this is a comic. Like this is a real life comic book. It was done so well, and it showed the fans what could happen and what should happen and what should be.
Yeah.
So, yo, what's up, Doc? Good to see you, man.
It's not bad.
Yes, and they kind of kept with it because to me, the Captain America ones, the first three, solid, like without a doubt. You know what I mean? Like, first Avenger, it's there, but once you get into Civil War and then Winter Soldier stuff like that, they're so good. Like they're actual movies, like they're cinematic, actual experiences. So it showed you what they should have been. Now, how do you feel about the way they are today? Like, are you okay with the way things are, or are you like man, this is garbage?
I don't really like what they're doing because from my childhood all the way up to graduation and to like 3 years later, all the movies they popped out were very good. But then when this whole agenda thing start popping out of nowhere, the movies they were losing that kind of a spark in them.
Yeah, they lost a little bit of life. Yeah.
And so far, I have not gone back to the theaters to see the recent ones.
You haven't checked out Guardians 3 yet?
I'm curious about that. I hear it's really good.
I've given my honest opinion. Like, wait for either a matinee or if you have Disney Plus, wait for that. It's the best Marvel superhero movie to come out since in Phase 4/Phase 5, whatever.
Yeah.
But is that really saying a lot? Like the Rocket, the raccoon scenes they're emotional. Like they really hit you, but the tone of the movie itself doesn't really feel like Guardians because it's so serious and somber and just darker. Like it was a very different. But High Evolutionary did a great job. Acting was good. There's problems with certain areas of it. So whenever I recommend it to people, yes, watch it, but maybe watch it on Disney Plus if you have it, or go see it at a matinee where you can save a little bit of money. Because it's still entertaining. It's a popcorn flick, but it's not a full on like Guardians 1 was so lighthearted and just it was fun. It was a fun movie. This one you're like, what happened? You know what I mean? So yeah, see it, and like you said, ups and downs. A lot of people loved it. Yeah. Some people have said it's the best one ever. There's plenty of people that I know that hate it. So I'm in between. I think it's like if I had to rate things 1 to 10, maybe a 6.5, 5, like at the least. It's mid. It's there. It's not bad. It's way better than anything that's put out in the past few years. So
the Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, but I'm not sure it was because I enjoyed what the story was, or the nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, but it did have like the first bit of No Way Home. It was kind of a slog. Like there was still the Daredevil scene, which I thought was cool.
Yeah,
where he catches the brick. Awesome. That is that one, right? Yeah. So I mean, that's really cool. I love that. But like the first half of that, maybe 25, 35 minutes. It's kind of a slug, but once you start getting further into the story and you're involving more characters, it got more exciting. Like, yeah, the nostalgia part helped, but it wasn't the main reason why I liked it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have the Green Goblin played by what's his face again?
I know who you are.
Uh,
Yeah,
William Defoe.
William Dafoe. I mean,
William
William
Dafoe.
Dafoe is a brilliant actor, so that didn't hurt. You know what I mean? So having great actors, but see, this is what happens when you have great actors with a decent, good dialogue. You're gonna get a good movie. Like when he's laughing at Peter as he's Spider-Man as he's punching him in the face.
Which
That was like that. Awesome.
which
Wait,
while you're watching that, you you can tell from the Goblin's face that it's not really hurting him. That he's actually taking joy out of it.
Yeah, he's a sadist
And-
almost. Like yeah,
And like this like this guy has gone psychotic.
yeah.
Mhm.
And like I said though, a great actor, you had a decent script to go along with it. And yeah,
Yeah.
the other Marvel movies, they're hiring really good actors sometimes, but sometimes the script is just garbage with what they have to work with. And the director directed like 2 shorts of indie films, so they don't know how to direct a high budget action movie. So they don't know how to direct these people that have these talents. So it's yeah. So but when you get something like that Spider-Man movie, where it's just that like yes, the nostalgia helps. Don't get me wrong. I love
Yeah.
seeing it. I love seeing the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man storyline kind of come together where he saves Mary Jane. Cool. That was awesome. Or MJ because that's not Mary Jane. But either which way, it was a fun story but that's not a Marvel Disney movie though. That was
Yeah,
like
that's
that was a
Sony.
lot of
Sony.
that was yeah. It was
Sony.
Sony.
It
And
was-
yeah, and the funny thing is, like, as much as I didn't care too much for the Venom movie, it was still way better than anything Marvel's put out. It's because they're just trying to make a movie. They're not trying to enforce anything onto you, and that's a big problem nowadays that's happening. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, and making our own books, is because we're seeing this happen, or we have seen this happen, or even people who don't even notice it, but they're just like, look, I can't break in because even though my skill level is there, they're just not letting people in. But I could do my own thing and have fun making a comic book and entertaining the masses and the people. And that's why we're here. And like I've even had a campaign that didn't make it. So not everything gets funded. And you try again and try again later on. There's nothing wrong with it, or you find out what didn't work and then you tweak it and then you relaunch. Stuff like that can happen. But that's what the thing about this is. In those Marvel movies and the Marvel comics and the DC and all the mainstream stuff, I don't want to just single out Marvel.
Yeah.
They're really not listening to the fans. Here we are. Like if the book doesn't make it, and we could even tweet out or put it something on social media. Hey, what about my campaign? Maybe you thought could use a little work, or about my comic you think maybe could use a little work. And you don't have to listen to everybody, but it's nice to get that feedback. So they don't do that in the mainstream in the big movies and in the comics. It's a fan based movement because fans know what they want, and the creators themselves are fans. You're a fan of this stuff. You want to put out a good, fun product. What's Doc
Although
saying here?
Werewolf by Night was a welcome exception, is what Doc says.
Werewolf
Werewolf by
by
Night. I
Night.
think it was on Disney. It was like
It was on Disney Plus. I heard. Okay, I mean, I started watching it with Matt Barr, but and I dipped out because I got a phone call. But there's been a couple spatters here and there of some stuff that's okay or watchable. But like Steven, like you were saying, if you go back in the day and even look at the first few movies, like even the original Blade or The Crow or the first couple Punisher movies that came out, they were fun. Like they didn't totally stick to the source material, but they were close enough that you could be like, okay, like the Punisher was New York, not Miami, but they moved it anyway in that first Punisher movie. So first, but
They did with the resources of what they had at the time.
exactly. But they still had a good movie come out of it because Thomas Jane did a perfect role. And actually, if anybody knows about or hasn't seen it, go check out Dirty Laundry on YouTube. Thomas Jane is like a short, and it's a short Punisher film, and it's so good. It's so good. So it's probably the best Punisher thing there is, almost adapted to film. But yeah, even those early ones, like The Crow, to me is one of my favorites. But I'm a huge Crow fan, so I'm kind of biased. But
that was another movie that kind of struck me was the first movie of Crow.
yeah,
That movie, it was a lot of good acting. I really enjoyed the story in it, and you could really feel the emotion of the characters coming off the screen.
yeah, and like I'm not an undead, vengeful, spirit come back to, seek out the people that killed my. You know what I mean? I don't can't. I'm not that. Like you don't have to be
Yeah.
that to relate to it, but you can relate to his pain and anguish. It may not be on the same level, but you understand that. So you don't. Them getting people like, oh, you have to be a black person to write a Black Panther. You have to be this to draw that. You have to be this to act in this movie. It's like, well, no, that's not what makes people relatable. What makes it relatable is their character, their journey, their personalities, their struggles, their accomplishments. Like all this stuff is what we relate to in general. Like people think, oh, blind people relate to Daredevil. It's like, well, not really. I mean, first off, they can't read; they're blind. But
Yeah.
it's like they can relate to somebody else because maybe their struggles. They might be able to relate to Blade a lot better, who's kind of like this drifting between two worlds or something like that. So relatability isn't based on characteristics of a physical nature. It's based on your mental and your heart, and
Yeah.
that's what these people are missing. That's what they don't get anymore.
Mhm.
It's not how it used back in the day. They did.
I think it's not just that they don't get it. It's just they don't want to get it.
Yeah.
They don't want to understand what it means on how
What's up, Plague?
to create a relatable character. It's not like I said. It's not the physical aspects of the character. It's the emotional. It's the emotional sense and what they're going through.
Exactly. And it's funny because, like, okay, if you want to do something like that, do it. Make a whole new character. Make that whole thing your thing on that one book. That's totally, whenever you're tearing apart somebody that's been established for 70, 80 years and making them and twisting them into something, like, not only are you making them a different ethnicity or sex, but you're also changing their entire personality on top of it. And so it just doesn't mesh. There's no continuity. There's no attention to what came before, respecting what became before. Like, we respect what came before. We understand it, so we learn from it and we grow from it. But we're making our own IPs. You're making your own IPs. This is yours. Like, you're not like totally stealing a character and just changing their genders and be like, hey, this is my new product now. You're gonna like this, or if you don't, then suck it. You're not saying that. You're saying, here's my book. I hope you enjoy it. It's a fun story. There's fun artwork in it. I hope you like it. Like, if not, let me know. And if you do, let me know. Like, that's the other thing. If you do like something, feel free to hit anyone up and be like, hey, I really loved what you did here. I want more of that. And if you do that, we're gonna give you more. Like, the Frog G came from the fans, from the chat, because they like that character. This is a fan based movement, and we're fans, like I said earlier. So we want to see these things too. You want to put your book out there because you're a fan. You're like, oh, this story is fun to me. And I'm a firm believer in this as well. If it's fun to me, it's got to be fun to somebody else. It just has to be. I can't be alone. So
it's like there's this saying that I learned from watching one of Stanley's videos, and I guess this was kind of taken a little bit to heart because when I first started writing, I wasn't sure if it was going to be good. I wasn't sure if anyone's going to like it, and then I found that video of Stan Lee where he says there's when you put some don't worry about if people are going to like it. Don't worry about that. Just know that there's a thousand people out there. There's like over thousands of people out there that like the same thing that you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's true. And those, let's say there's even 100 people, like you're talking, you're going around these YouTube channels and you're talking to everybody, getting to know everybody, seeing the people in the chat. You're hitting like maybe 7 or 8 of them. You don't know, like, they're not all around here, so they might tell their other 40 other people, and so on, sprinkles, because they like what you like, their friends are gonna like, not all of them, but their friends are gonna like what
Mhm.
they like because they're friends. Usually, you end up
Mhm.
liking the same stuff. And that's why you hang out with the people you hang out with. It's kind of like and they said told two friends, and they told two friends. And so remember
Yeah.
that commercial? There
Yeah.
was a commercial back in the day about that. So, and it's true. It's word of mouth. Like that's how some things do get spread. Like, oh, this book is really cool. Or the story to this book sounds awesome. I gotta back it. Or, and you don't know that until you go on these streams or you go into these little chat groups and like you get to know everybody. They might be like, oh, your story sounds really cool. I kind of want to know more, and you never knew these people beforehand. So these are the hundreds or the thousands of people you never met that are into what you're into. They like what you like.
Yeah.
So this is the main way to go about it. And yeah, there's conventions and stuff. Those are a little harder to kind of get into. But not only that, they cost money. To reserve a table. Not everybody has the finances. So it's a little trickier. This is a free source, and not only that, we're all here to help each other out. Like we all want to succeed, so we want to see each other succeed to help get out some fun quality books. And like you said, we won't know who those people are that like what we like, those 1,000 people, unless we do this kind of a thing. So it helps to get it out there. And that's a great quote by Stan. And we all love Stan. I'm a big Jack Kirby fan myself, and Jack Kirby is famous for saying comics will break your heart. I kind of disagree a little bit. I think the comic industry will break your heart. Comics have never broken my heart. Maybe the story, might be heartbreaking, but the actual, like, they're more comics have actually helped more than hurt. So the comic industry can break your heart, but what happens with a broken heart? You mend it and you keep moving forward. So you go on and you go on. So, and that's hence the opening to my, get to know your creator. No one can urinate on this determination. I censor it for the little people around me. But, because we're determined to get these books out. We're determined to get our stories out because they're fun to us and they got to be fun to somebody else,
Right.
You got to stay hydrated, man.
Especially I'm making a cocktail.
You're making a cocktail?
That's what Jim asked. I was drinking water. Is my hair making sound?
No, you're good. How did you get your studio name?
I was trying to find a good idea. And well, obviously I'm a cat person. I have like 3 cats.
Same here. I love cats.
Nice.
So that part was kind of was kind of a shoo-in. Bold. I wanted books. I wanted to make books that were well. I wanted to make stuff that is has a sense of boldness that's not afraid to tell a good story. That's not afraid to go to go to the limit.
Nice. Yeah, I don't always get to ask that question because I sometimes forget, and so I am
Right.
usually curious if people get about
In
that.
studios, I figured that. Well, what if comics isn't the only thing they just want to make?
Yep.
So, what if you want to make stuff that would follow along with comics, and comics is the main aspect of the brand. But here's a bunch of other stuff that follows with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think having like a studios, entertainment, or something in those lines, if you want to branch out and even do toys or something like that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can then, like, it can all be under one umbrella. So that's why, like, long ago when we came up with Unhinged Entertainment, we were like, what if we want to do something else that's not comic related? So that's where the entertainment part of it, because there's more to it than that. So yeah, so great. See, I love that. I love knowing how people come up with
Yeah.
stuff.
I like your avatar too. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like that. Yeah, that's cool. I like cats. I'm a cat guy. Who would you like, living or dead? Who would you want to work with as a creator? If you could work with anybody or learn from anybody, art or writing, like who would you want to maybe tutelage under or work with?
I haven't thought about that in, I don't know, God knows how long.
Fair
Well,
enough, man. And you
yeah.
don't have to answer it. It's not a requirement.
I mean, I know you mentioned the manga and obviously Spider-Man, you know, it's
Yeah.
things that you look back as interest. Is there anything that has influenced you?
That hasn't, or wait,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
or
what?
has influenced you? Is there any type of any creator or
That has
Oh,
influenced.
genre that has been influential to you in your work?
it was another thing, someone that has influenced me a bit more were kind of the three the big three that started Image Comics.
Mm,
Oh,
nice.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, who better to look up to than the founders of Image, actually, because
Yeah,
they just grabbed the reins by the horn. And I mean, yeah, they already had money to begin with, but they still were like, they took a big risk either which way
Mhm.
on going on their own. And in a way, like they knew they were popular and big, but they still took a huge risk. What if it failed? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, so looking up to those guys is not a bad thing at all, man. Nice, yeah. And so yeah, so we have this. We have what's going on here?
Leg Kick is in the house.
Yo, what's up, Leg Kick? Good to see you, my friend. By the way, I know I haven't said it yet. The link for this book, by the way, the campaign is pinned to the top of the chat, as well in the description down below. So make sure you check it out. We're going to talk about it. So let's actually do this here first. We're going to go ahead and play a trailer for you because you have a trailer in your campaign. So we're going to go ahead and play that. Is that okay with you, sir?
go ahead.
Nice. I like it. Very nice. Very nice. Did you do that?
Very nice.
Yes, I did.
Nice. Good job, man.
And I promise to get better.
No, actually, that was really
Right.
good for your. That's really good for doing it on your own. I mean, it's not like you're a trailer, professional. That was really awesome, man. I think you did great.
Yeah.
The images and words kept up with the tempo, and you made it impactful. I like it. Very nice. Yeah, good go at it. Nicely done. So this is. Tell me, talk about your book. What we
All
got
right,
here?
so this is the campaign for Crypts and Legends. Well, the Second Chance campaign, and this was on Indiegogo as the first two campaigns were, but for some reason the Second Chance campaign got shadow banned.
That's
And
going around.
yeah. I had no clue. Maybe it's because they found it on Confiscate or something. But then I learned that that wasn't just me. It was other people, even people that aren't Confiscate that are getting shadow banned.
Yeah.
So there's just shadow banned random stuff at this point. So the synopsis of so the pitch of the story is it follows the main character Carter along with his family and friends, and they had to go all over the world to find these five mystical tomes that, when you put together, it will reshape reality into into whatever anyone chooses.
Mm.
And that's what this evil cult that's in the story is trying to do, and they're trying to stop them.
So they're after the evil cult is after these tomes as well.
Right.
What happens when you get the tomes?
Uh, when all the tomes are collected, uh, they they will all form together into a tome of creation, and and uh, and depending on who's holding it, will will get whatever they want.
So you can like alter reality itself.
Yes.
Ooh, nice. I like a good alter reality story. Nice, nice. And this is the main character. Who's the spirit here? Is that one of the?
The spirit is Luna, and she's been around him uh, ever since he was like very little, and because of that, and because sometimes he talks to her, he kind of gets picked on a bit, but but she kind of puts a stop to that. But side effect is wherever he is, everyone is thinking it's haunted.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Wow.
So they're kind of afraid to like go along with him and stuff. So this guy looks like he's got some superpowers. Who's this cat?
That is Arthur Eclipse as Carter's uncle. He has the same. All right, so the Eclipse family has this ability to where they are able to see the paranormal. They're able to see ghosts, spirits, and demons, anything.
So oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
And Arthur is training him on how to use his ability, and what we'll later learn down the storyline is that he can do much more than just see spirits.
Yeah, you can do more than see and talk to spirits, so they can like use them as weaponry. Like what what other kind of things they could do with them?
So what Carter can do is is that he can let a ghost or spirit possess him, and he gets he gets to learn of their past.
Oh, nice.
He gets their memories, and also it also goes into a bit of a muscle memory because he also learns their experience.
So if like
So
Bruce Lee jumps into him, he could become a kung fu master.
right,
Nice.
I know.
and but the downfall is that demons can do that too, and if he's not careful, uh, it can go bad. It can go bad real bad.
So then he would need a pope or something to, exorcise these demons. Yeah, and these are some of the evil cryptids and stuff. I'm assuming right here.
Yeah.
I like this panel. It's pretty cool.
So,
This reminds me a little bit
Yeah.
of Bone. I like it. Yeah.
so yeah, throughout the story, you're going to see creatures like that from cryptid mythology. So you're going to see monsters like
What's
Bigfoot,
up,
the
Barb?
Yeti, and the Loch Ness monster.
Nice. Yeah, like so it's not just this like a haunted spiritual type thing. You also get to see monsters and
Yeah,
creatures and all that cool stuff. Oh, thanks a lot, Bar. Appreciate that, man. Who's this young lady right here?
that is Zoe, and she is a witch in the story.
Is she in the first issue, or is she like a cliffhanger at the end of the first issue, leading to the
He
second or
is
something?
in the first issue,
Okay.
but you don't really get to see much of her power as well as much in this one. But I can promise that throughout the future issues, you will see more of her ability.
Do you work traditionally, or do you work with digitally as far as drawing and coloring? Like, how do you approach it?
So how I approach it is that I would draw in ink traditionally. Here I'll show you some stuff.
Yeah. Feel free, man.
So these are the two trading cards that if you buy anything from buy any physical stuff like posters or comics,
Are you
you'll
gonna
get
share your screen or?
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
this.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Hold on, I gotta make it big and. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at
Wow. Wow.
that. Ooh, I like the black and white, man.
Ooh, I like the werewolf. That's awesome.
Yeah. So these are the trading cards you said?
Yeah, these are the trading cards.
Oh wow, so you work real big on them. Nice. I like that. Are you selling the original art on your campaign then? Or are you going to be selling the original art for these?
I am going to be selling all the original pages.
Nice. Yeah, we'll go over the tiers in a second. So these people get these trading cards as a stretch goal. Like what happens with these? So well, let's talk about your approach. So you draw and ink it traditionally.
Yeah, first I draw, and first I draw it all. Then after that I ink, then erase, and to add color, I scan these in and color them digitally.
Nice. Yeah, I really like the black and whites, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
It looks nice. Nicely done, sir. And yeah, so you work full size. You work really big. I like that. That's how I work whenever I do trading cards as well. I like to get all the nuances in that way.
Mhm.
Nicely done, man. Nicely done. And so now these trading cards here, do they come with the campaign or are they stretch goals?
Uh, well, well, for this campaign, they are going to go with the
Okay.
campaign, except for the digital stuff.
Well, of course, yeah. So
You would just get the digital copies. But if you buy the physical copies, like any one physical copies, you will get the two trading cards. Which the two trading cards were originally supposed to be for the people who signed up, but since I switched over from Indiegogo to my comic, and I don't really have a mailing list,
right.
I just pretty much just sent an email out to people who signed up. Hey, change of plans. These are no longer for sign up anymore. They're for everyone who's going to back the book.
I don't think they'll be too upset about that, dude.
Well,
They'll understand because of what happened, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I get it. Cool." If anything, it's cool of you to do so. So
yeah.
nice, man. And so speaking of the tiers, let's. I'm blind, so you got to tell me what's what. What's this one here? Did I just
Okay,
click on it?
so that's the digital copy of Crystal Legends #1.
Okay, and the one below it here.
That's issue 2, another digital copy PDF.
Okay. Now, do you before we go any further? Do you have add-ons? I don't know how Fun My Comic works. Are there add-ons?
I'm kind of learning as I go.
Oh, hey, so you and I both don't. That's fine, man. I get it. No worries, no worries. We're all learning. You gotta start somewhere.
I am trying to work on making hats for the logo.
Oh, nice.
Which if you go to my Twitter page, there's a poll for snapback or flexbit because
link for that, by the way, is in the description below for your Twitter. So
yeah.
What's this tier here?
That's the physical copy of issue 1.
And this one?
Issue
Is that number
2,
two?
physical copy.
Number 2. Nice. And is this a?
That's the issue 2 again, but this is the. All right, so when I first ordered the issue 2 copies, I didn't triple check to make sure everything was there.
Mm.
And in issue 2, on the very back of the on the last page of the book, all the dialogue was missing.
Oh no! Oh no!
So so like, oh, I was like, oh crap, I gotta deal with this now.
Oh.
And I ended up buying the second copy, and a triple jet this time. And and I had like 25, or actually I think it's like 23 now, which I need to fix that, by the way. 23 copies of this, and I didn't know what to do with them. And
Right.
and the only thing, and at the time, the only thing I could think of was chuck them. But Pops told me, and thank you for this, Pops, to sell them as bloopers, because people love books with mess ups in them.
Is that at a discounted rate?
That's the same price.
Same price. Okay. Nah, yeah, that's not bad.
Do you
So
offer
are
a
you?
digital option?
Yeah, there's 2 digital options.
Digital option.
Digital book 1, digital book 2. So
Nice.
you're going to be adding original art tiers, or is this?
Yes.
Is that what? Oh, there's 1 and 2. Do I have to click these to? Go to the
Yeah.
next.
You either click the numbers or click the arrow.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like I said, I'm not totally adapted
Yeah.
to fund my comics, so. And then this one then is.
All right. So this is the I'm selling the cover, the original cover,
Oh, nice.
and I'm selling it for 200.
Do you get everything with that? You get books, book 1 and 2 with the cover.
Yes, I plan
Nice.
I plan on putting that in, even though it doesn't say on there. I am planning on putting the
Cool.
book 1 and book 2 in there with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a firm believer if you back original art like this, like at that price point, and that's, by the way, great price point, because you get the original cover plus you get the 2 books, and you should get the books along with it, in my opinion. Now, not it's just my opinion. It's not set in stone for everyone. So, but nice, man. I like that. That's a good price point for that. Very nice. And
Yeah,
then
Citizen Ronan says the dude crawling underground is creepy. Which did you hit on that? Like, will we get to learn more what those are? I mean, obviously we will, but I was going to ask, but I don't want to spoil the story.
spoilers.
The things that are crawling, they're called rakes.
These guys.
I decided they'd be the first cryptids to appear.
Hmm.
And a friend of mine, he told me that rakes are actually visual spirits.
Yeah, I like these guys.
And he says, I'm not gonna tell you if this happened, but he said that they get killed off. You can't kill them off just like any kind of way.
Hmm.
I was like, okay.
Nice.
So I had to kind of get creative with that for a bit.
Yeah. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting to hear about. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like these guys. They're cool. I like them. Very nice. Very nice. And this one doesn't have an image. What's this one?
That's the double page spread, and that's
Ooh, okay.
So the reason for that's 200 is because it's two books.
It's a double page spread.
Not 2 books. It's 2 pages.
Right.
And since Bill Page is I'm going to put it as 100, and it's 200 for both of them.
Right. Nice.
And plus I couldn't really separate them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's easier to just put it like this. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Great price points, man. Very nice. Do you plan on maybe, let's say, this gets totally funded, you're dope, you're cool, you're fun, you're having a good time. Do you plan on maybe doing like a black and white edition of it, or are you going to just stick with straight as is and save some money for now and see what happens in the future?
I haven't thought about doing a black and white edition.
It costs more, so yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, right now we're you got 68 days because I know Fund My Comic is different from the
Yeah.
other platforms, which I like. And so we 68 days, 142 raised from I can't see the back account, but
That's 27 days raise
oh
and
okay.
8%, and it needs to reach 1,800 for the goal.
Yeah, and these goals are set to print books, to pay whoever needs to pay. Do you have an editor on this, or you just this is just your whole? This is you. This is
It's
all you.
it's all me.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, editors cost money, man. I get it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 1,800 is to pretty much print the books, get for shipping, and all that other stuff. So it's doable. You can do this. And let's
And
get that word out there, everybody. Share this out. If you can't afford to back it right now, or if you can't, if it's not your cup of tea, it might be someone else's cup of tea. Someone else might like coffee, you like tea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shut up, Siri, Bixby, whoever you are. Stupid phone. Sorry about that. Yeah, and the price point's really good. How many pages is this?
the first book is 28 pages, and the
Oh
second
wow,
book is 30 pages.
nice. Yeah, that's a great price point for this, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a really good deal, everybody. Now, just as a question, I'm sure other people might have or may not think to ask. You got to back books 1 and 2 separately. Do you plan on adding a tier where you can get them both as one?
Actually, if you go to if you hit the number 3,
Oh, it's on the third page.
yeah, I think it's on the third page. Unless we missed it,
Did I miss it? I might have missed it. I'm blind.
because I think what this does is that it sorts them by the price.
Okay. Because
So
I just see the 200s on page 3.
maybe it's on page 1.
Maybe it's let me check page 2 real quick. Maybe I thumbed over it. This is 20.
That's the posters.
Oh, we didn't even go over page 2. What happened? Did I not go down far enough? All right, so let's go over this real quick here in this page. So this one here is a poster.
Yes,
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Posters.
I
like that.
have leftovers, and if I need to make more, I'll make
Yeah, you can
more.
always redo. And this is another poster here.
Yeah, this is a poster for issue 2.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sweet.
All right, so then this here. Do you know what this one is? Hope you do, because I don't.
I didn't realize there was a page 2 either.
It's the Volcast Studios Crimson Legends package.
Okay, so there's the package right there. Okay, nice. So there you go. So on page 2, you can go ahead and back them both. That way you don't have to get charged double shipping. And maybe, so you can go that route too. Maybe, go ahead.
If you back this and you want the posters and the trading cards and the comics, all that's going to be on the package.
Nice. And then here's the individual pages right here, right? The 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this one here is the 2. Yeah, I don't know how I missed this page. What happened? Oh, you know what I think I did? I think I hit 2, and this was the first image that popped up, so I didn't scroll. I'm sorry about that, man. Hey, I'm not the best at doing this. What can I say? But so page 2, I like page 2 because you have your combo bundle there. You get all the kits and caboodles and stuff like that. So, but if you want to just dip your toe in and get the first issue, get this thing funded, you read what it's about, it'll then be in demand. You can go in and back the second issue if you like it. So that's not a bad route to go to. Hit those digitals up if you're international. It'll help with your shipping costs, but physical media is always nice, everybody. I like this, man. Nice price points. And you got, like I said, definitely doable with almost 70 days left to get to that goal. And as I said before, if you can't back now, share it out. Maybe other people can back, and then you could even be like, oh yeah, I wanted to back that book. Man, really nice. I love the passion you have for this. You're really set and determined to get it out there, and I respect that highly. And I love the concept. It's a fun story. Nice. Any questions left in the chat, Angela?
Mariah Kitty is here.
Oh, what's up, Moira? Welcome. Meow meow. Yeah, Moira's great.
Nice.
I watch her channel off and on every now and then, and she has a fun channel over there. So we'll go
cool.
check out Moira Kitty. Any last words from you, Steven?
Not I can think of. Oh,
It's fun.
No, I can't think of anything right now.
Because you can take your time, because I boomered myself, so I didn't do something I was supposed to do. I always fail at this miserably.
I already mentioned the hats.
Yeah, everybody go to. By the way, sorry to interrupt you, man. His Twitter is in the description below. So you got the book, the campaign's there, and then below that is his Twitter. So go check out that. So tell us about the caps real quick.
All right, so I want to make the I want to call them the bowl cap, the bowl caps. but the thing is, I've been trying to decide between the snapback or the flex fit, and honestly, I could not make a decision on either one of them because, well, I don't wear hats that much,
Right.
and so one of my friends, I think it was either Doc or Pops. I think it was Doc. Told me to put a poll out, and I saw that I could do, and I could do a poll on Twitter,
Mhm.
and that's what I did.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, everybody could go then vote whether or not you want the snapback or the the other ones. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they are.
And the majority will win, and that'll be the decision I go with.
Nice. That's a good way to go about it, because you're asking the fans what they want. So it is a good idea to get their opinion, especially if you can't think of anything anyway. You're just like, hey, help me decide, please. So everybody go follow him. Go hit the links down below. Link pinned to the top of the chat to back his campaign. Also, share it out. Please, on your social media platforms, get the word out there. Help get this funded. It's a second go, technically third, but the Shadow Band kind of foobars things. So it's a second go at it. Get this out there. It's a fun book. He's having a lot of fun doing it, and he's passionate about it. I mean, he's a true creator, true fan. And while you're at it, after you back Crips and Legends, everyone go check out Frog G and Indiegogo. Back it there today. Ink Spots is coloring stuff. I'm on page 37, I think, layouts. About to print them out, tighten them up. So we're almost done drawing this. So go check it out. I always forget to do this part of the stream where I shill myself. So, because I mainly like to shill you guys. Everybody hears me rant about this all the time. So, but yeah, back Frog G. But do that after you back Crips and Legends. Get that out there.
After you do that, be sure to check out Aaron and Shelly Lopresti at 4 o'clock Eastern.
That's for everyone else in the world. That's 7 Eastern, actually. They're 4 o'clock.
Oh, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
Yeah, that's okay. But yes, we are fans of the Loprestis here, so go check him out. I did not see it get a notification from Bancroft, so I don't know if he is live right now. I thought I had my notifications on for him. But if he is, go over to Bancroft. But at 7 p.m. Eastern, you got the Loprestis. Big fan of the Loprestis. So, Steven, thank you once again, man, for coming on. Make sure you stick around after we end. Don't disappear like some people do. They ninja vanish sometimes. So, Angela, do you have any last words?
Not today.
Not today.
This was fun. I'm glad I got to be a part of check out your book, Steven. It looks awesome.
Yeah, you're having a lot of fun. I like that. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great one. Later.